Hey folks, I hope everybody's having a great day. Today is May 16th, 2025. So glad you're able to join us in today's video. Got some exciting stuff going on. Okay, we're going to give an update on what's going on in the market. We're going to talk about how my portfolio is going. If you're new to this channel, I have a portfolio that pays me dividends weekly and monthly, and currently we are sitting over $60,000. This is epic. I turned one rental property into a cash flow machine that is doing phenomenal so far. So I've been tracking this since January 2025. So we're going to talk about the portfolio, how all of my funds are performing. Then we're going to discuss the margin hammer strategy. If you're new to this channel or if you've been around, make sure you stick around for that. We talk about today's or this week's wins with the margin hammer strategy. And then we're going to wrap it up with some news from Cambodia, and you're going to love it. So make sure you stick around for that. All right, folks, got a lot to cover today. We're going to make this brief. We're going to get to the point. This isn't Cambodia. Okay, first off, folks, I'm at 86 subscribers. Okay, I have lots of good content here. I think what I'm talking about is immensely invaluable, and I would really appreciate a sub. People are watching. Let's sub. Let's get to 100 subscribers for the month of May. That would be great. That would be very helpful. And check out this last video I did on my reshaping of the portfolio. Okay, so stock market. How do we do today? Well, today we wrapped up 0.70% in the green, which is phenomenal. Okay, really nice green day. 5-day, we're up 2.6%. Year to date, folks, 1.5%. Woohoo! Okay, really good. Okay, 1 year, 12.5. So S&P has finally recovered from the tariff conundrum that we had. Okay, let's see what's going on in the market. Okay, this just came in today. We're going to track it. U.S. loses last top credit rating with downgrade from Moody's. Okay, so I'm not like a financial expert or anything, but sounds like there's still some shaky ground that might be happening. So, okay, so let's talk about my portfolio. That's why you're here. This is what I got, folks. I have this portfolio made up of high yield dividends, ETFs that are paying me weekly and monthly. And I started this in January. I had $12,000 position, and then in March of this year I grew it to $186,000, and this is where I'm sitting right now. So right now this portfolio is sitting at $183,645. Okay, so let's talk about, and that is down 2.5% for the year. So let's talk about some of my positions, what's going on, giving you an update. Largest position here, folks, XZTE. Really like this fund. It's my largest position, almost 25%, $45,000. For the year, it's down almost 6.5%. Okay, this got hit pretty badly with the tariff stuff. So we're going to watch this. I mean, it's been recovering slowly. As the market's moving up, it's been recovering pretty nice. We're going to obviously keep it because this is a weekly payer and it pays pretty nice dividend. Okay, next, QQQI. Folks, look at this. This is on the NASDAQ 100. I'm really impressed with NEOS, the way it's been performing. 1.9% in the green for the year while paying a dividend. This is just mind-boggling. Okay, this one, it's not a huge dividend. I think it's like around like 12 or 14%, but it's green. It's nice. XPay, look at this, folks. Almost close to zero for our losses. Only down 0.38%. So I have also a $19,000 position in that. Next one, SpyEye. Again, just like QQQI, NEOS, they're doing a phenomenal job. We're in the green, just over the zero gains. 0.11% for the year, 19,000 position. JEPQ. Okay, so this one's from JP Morgan. This is probably the fund that's been around the longest compared to the ones that we just looked at, the top four. But look at this performance, down 2.29%. So not too impressed with JEPQ. We're holding it for diversification. We're trying to balance between each different fund managers. So kind of spread our eggs among different baskets. We have almost a $19,000 position in that, but I'm not too impressed. I mean, like if I would have known this, I would have probably bought more QQQI or more SPY because it seems to be performing much better. Okay, so next, Misty. This is one that pays an insane dividend, like 130% from Yield Max, and this one we're down 0.5%. Okay, I have almost a 7% position in here. BTCI, look at this one. This one's carrying the weight for all the losers, folks. 10% up. We know that Bitcoin's been on a rally, and we're experiencing that here. 10% up. It's great. This makes up 5.5% position. QDT, like its XDT cousin, this one's down 6.46%. This is kind of interesting because this one pays a higher dividend than XDT, but it's pretty much down the same amount. So that's kind of interesting. So I have about 5% position in that. And then we got PLTY. This is another one that's in the green. This is a play on Palantir from YieldMax. So this one is up 6.7%. I have almost $8,000 in that. NVIDIA, this one is red, almost 4%, 2.8% position. SMCY down 11.5%. And so now we're getting to the 2 to 1% positions. AIPI, this is from Rex. This is on basically a fund with a bunch of AI companies that pay dividends on it. So this one down 3% for the year. We got about $4,500 in that. And then I have my infamous YMAX and YMAG. We're down almost 18% and almost 17% on the other. So these ones do pay weekly, and between the two of them, I'm setting somewhere around 3% position. Okay, so that's what we got. This is the performance. Let's hop over to the dividend overview and just give you an idea what some of these are paying. XET is paying 30.8%. QQQI is at 14. XPay at 12. This is wrong. I don't know why Fidelity shows this. This should be like 22%. SPY is 12 and JPQ is 11.32. Take a look here. JPQ has the lowest dividend and it's been performing the worst amongst all of these funds. So if I had to redo it all again, I'd probably split that amount between QQI and SPY because they're paying more in dividends and they're holding up better to downturns. MSTY, as I said, is over 130%. BTCI is down to 16%. This is kind of interesting. I think this was at one point like 37%. Unless, again, this is just Fidelity messing out with the numbers. Now, take a look here. QGT is paying a 44.5%. That's like almost 15% more than XDT, and we saw that it was down the same amount. So that's interesting. PLTY, 40% dividend. NVIDIA, 94% dividend. SMCY, 91. AIPI, 33. And then YMAG is at 59 and 45. Okay, so if we tally everything up, let me just scroll here so you can see it. Right now, estimated dividends annually is $62,613. Now, again, some of these values are wrong, so most likely this will probably be somewhere around 65 grand, which is pretty good. Okay, so portfolio out of the way, folks. Moving down, let's talk about what we got in dividends this week. Okay, this week is one of the lower payers because I don't have the big cats from YieldMax that are paying those big dividends. So what we got this week, and this is week 19. We got our payment from XDTE, $248, and we got QDT, $86.78, $33 from YMAG, and $36 from YMAX. Now, the ones that I have up in the red, if you haven't seen my last video, I've actually exited these funds. So eventually these will drop off. I think I'll just hide them so we're not looking at them, but I really consolidated my portfolio to make it simpler, and I just threw all that money into MSTY. Okay, folks, let's talk about that. We'll switch gears now. If you guys are new to this channel, I talk about the margin hammer strategy, and that is basically using margin and the intraday power that's given to you by your broker. We jump into positions, we run in like a thief, we grab a little bit of the movement that we see in the market. Now, I do this primarily on SPY, and I'm just going to show you some of the wins I got this week using the strategy, using the available margin, using the available intraday power, and we're making some very significant cash. I mean, this is doing obviously much better than these dividends are, and we're gonna keep tracking this and see how we hold up to these wins. So this is this week, starting on the 12th, which was an amazing week. We had, amazing start to the week. We had a $4,600 win. On Tuesday, we've overtraded. I only took $244. Wednesday, I did a few trades, got $810. On Thursday, I was up $1,441. And today, just a couple of trades, I was out and about $983. So that wraps up the week with $8,152, which is phenomenal. Okay, so I got some stats up top here. I've only been doing this for 3 weeks, really. So my daily average is about $1,200, and total gains $18,500. Now, I'm using this by using my portfolio. So this portfolio that I was just showing you, what Fidelity does is it gives me margin power. So it gives me the pretty much the same amount that I can use for margin, and then it gives me about 3 times as much that I can do daily intraday trading on. Now, if you want to learn more about it, please leave a comment below and check out some of the videos where I dive right into this very deeply. So that's what we got. Now, we'll leave the juicy part for last. We're getting close to 14-minute mark. Again, this is not Cambodia, but speaking of Cambodia, I found this post by the Cambodian himself. Okay, and I just wanted to wrap up with this, and I thought this was hilarious. Okay, so this guy, if you know, you know. If you don't, it's fine. But he has a big following. Thousands of people follow this guy's channel. They subscribe. He does a bunch of live streams. And this is what he posted, I think, today. I just bought lots of stable stocks. This is to set conditions for phase 3. Okay, so he just bought lots of stable stocks. Now, that sounds great. I'm all for buying stable stocks. Now, if you zoom in, this is what he bought, folks. Look at this quantity. He bought 1/10 of a share of JPM, 1/10 of a share of AMGN. Anyways, all of these are less than 1/10 of a share. This guy, he didn't buy any stable fund, okay? So he's kind of fooling himself and he's fooling others. So if you want to learn how to actually, actually make real money, not just stream money, make sure you give a like to this video, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one, folks. Thanks.